Hey guys, so we are back again with another episode of Muay Thai Save Me. And just so you guys know, with this podcast, we are going over, different people's stories and how Muay Thai has changed their life and impacted them in a certain way. And real quick, my name is Crew Neil, and I'm alongside Edwin, Lopez. You want to say a little something to the people?
I'm also known as Edwin because there's win in Edwin. So I just wanted to put that out there because that's going to be my new hashtag. So yeah, man, I'm excited. We have an amazing guest today, and I'm excited to hear his story.
Absolutely. So yeah, across from us is the gentleman by the name of Robert Brown. And for those of you that don't know, I've actually known Robert Brown for quite a while now.
Yeah, it's been over a decade.
What has it really been over a decade? And how I met Robert Brown was he brought one of his boys in, one of his eldest boys, Josh, and then not too long after he brought his other son, Jordan, and that kind of started our relationship from there.
Absolutely.
And Robert, can you tell everyone a little bit about yourself, a little intro, a little 2-minute intro?
A little quick intro. I'll try to keep it short. My name's Robert Brown, 41 years old. Been training here at MTK for about 4 years now, as of November. Like Crew mentioned, I started off with my oldest son coming in here to train. He did boxing prior, and that gym shut down, and we were looking for a place. So I just did like most people, Google searched and found MTK. So came out, tried it out. My oldest son fell in love with it. And then the younger boy, Jordan, followed in suit. And I've always been around the gym, watching them train, that kind of thing, from a parental aspect. But I was intrigued, and I always thought, I would size people up in the gym and think I can handle things and handle people in the gym. And one day I walked in 4 years ago, and Coach Jen approached me about joining and training myself. I've never been really big on workouts and fitness because I've been relatively in shape a good majority of my life, so I didn't see a need for it. But then I thought, you know what, let's give it a try. I see people in here transforming their lives and how much my kids like it, so gave it a try and fell in love just like everyone else does. So yeah, that's my background.
Now, I love that, Rob. Now, Rob, when you go back to that day when Jen was like, asking you like, hey, why don't you just do it? Was there anything going on in your life at that moment where you're like, you know what? Like, what was that switch for you? Because, we've known each other for over a decade. And,
right.
What was that switch for that day to be like, you know what?
Okay.
All right, it's time.
Okay, well, in suit of the name of the podcast, How Muay Thai Saved My Life, I don't have any crazy story. Like, I wasn't completely out there and needed some major change. I felt like life had taught me enough lessons. And as a man, as you become older, you start to think you get in a place of comfort and you feel like you know it all, in a sense, especially if you've been relatively successful, developed decent relationships, and you feel like you're doing okay. What I observed in Muay Thai was something new. I observed people joining the gym and seeing their progress. So I kind of wanted that for myself. I thought that, I think I have life figured out outside, but let's go to Muay Thai and try to learn something new. And I thought, you know what, I'll jump right in, I'll be an expert. And I'll never forget, my first day was a sparring class. And I was fortunate enough to be able to spar. And I don't know what words I can use on this podcast, but I got my tail kicked, to say the least. And that was a humbling experience for a person like myself who thinks we have everything figured out, and then walk into something where I'm an infant, if you will. Even my children knew more than I did. So it was great to be offered to join and have the experience or the opportunity to join, but it was more of like a challenge that I wanted to pursue.
How would you say, because you're a father of two, right?
Yes.
And so am I, and I know you co-parent just the way I do, and I admire how amazing father you are. And as much as I could see what I've seen in social media, I think I've told you this in the past.
You have.
I love just the relationship that you have, and seeing your boys here. How has being part of this community and having them here, how has that transition in your guys' relationship outside in your personal life? Like, has there been an influence in that?
Absolutely, there has. That was one of the underlying things, aside from wanting to join and take on something new or a new challenge. My oldest son was in his mid-teen years, and if you're a parent, you kind of know how teenagers think and kind of understand the disconnect that can occur between a parent and a teenager. So Muay Thai gave me the opportunity to do something that he enjoyed and was fun for all of us and the family, and in return give a little bonding. It became like a competitive type nature, competitive type spirit. Being that my son has trained with crew for so long and I was new, he kind of enjoyed the fact that he knew a little bit more and he was correcting me on certain things. But then when it comes to sparring, I could legally beat up my kids. So that was fun. But it definitely strengthened the bond. We had something to talk about when we went home over dinner, like, hey, your kicks are horrible, or whatever the case may be, and all the Muay Thai sounds that come along with it. If you've trained, you know all the oohs and ahs and all that kind of stuff. So definitely strengthened the relationship between myself and my two children.
Now, I want to touch base on those Thai sounds, those Muay Thai sounds. Do you give us a little example of like what a Muay Thai sound? Give them a little taste.
Well, what are your top three? That's what I want to know.
My top three, I mean, I have to definitely go with the number one, the ooey.
Okay.
And then if you know crew and you've been around, you know he put some extras on it, so you try to emulate that a little bit. When I'm kicking the bag or things of that nature, I try to add more of like a grunt or a growl. One thing that I've noticed when I watch the sparring videos, I tend to be a grunter, like a hunt. When I'm striking, I like to, if that makes any sense. All you Muay Thai heads out there would understand that. But to another person, it will sound foreign.
That's cool. Do you ever use that outside of the gym? And like, let's say if you're on a date or like, you know, you're with a girl, do you ever use that? And I don't want to get too personal, but do those sounds get used in other situations or other places? Come on, let's speak up here. Come on. Look, why are you turning red? That's what I want to know.
Edwin. Well, fortunately enough, as my Muay Thai journey progressed, I met a young lady here at MTK.
Nice.
You know what? She came in as a member, and I didn't think nothing of it. It was just part of the community, friendly, ongoing. She was working to get in shape, and I admired some things about her. I admired the work that she was willing to put in to achieve fitness goals and things of that nature. She took a liking to my children as they trained and everything. So fortunately enough, I ended up with a Muay Thai girl. How she got me, she actually, we were playing around sparring, and she elbowed me in the face and busted my lip and my nose, and I was leaking blood.
Nice.
Now, for us Muay Thai weirdos, that was great because I spar every single week, and no one's been able to make me bleed my own blood. But when she did that, she had me. So the Muay Thai sounds are not as weird at home because she knows what I'm talking about. So there are some oohs. Sometimes she's cooking in the kitchen, and I'll walk by and kind of knee her or something, and she'll turn around and ooh me back. So yes, it comes out in normal life.
That's cool. So those of you who are single out there and you get elbowed by a girl here at the gym, a sign, man. It might be a sign, guys. You know, make your nose bleed, all those things. You're just gonna see everybody on Monday. Just hey. You know? That's cool, man. That's cool. I love that. I know me and you have also talked about, you know, just the discipline that it's showing you. I know your faith has, you know, been huge on it. You know what I mean? And I love that about you. You know what I mean? And just the influence that you have. But not only that, the leadership that you've put here with our members, I've seen that a lot. I see a lot of people look up to you. I see a lot of people try to dress like you here, you know what I mean? Which is hard because you always have different outfits.
Got to change it up.
You're just like Orlena, who just every single day has a different outfit, and it's pretty cool. Tell me, how does it feel like for the young people? Because I know that you kind of like click with a lot of the youngsters that we have here, and you kind of take them under your wing. When you like, what makes you take that role and help them out and guide them and do the influence that you can when you are here? Why is it that you do that? Because we don't see a lot of people do that.
Okay, a little bit of a story. So obviously I have a faith-based outlook on life, and joining the Muay Thai community, particularly in this gym, has taught me a lot of humility. And when I say humility, not in the actual definition, dictionary definition of the word, the true definition of the word. So when I joined a person like Crew, who has the ability to destroy me in a boxing ring or in a Muay Thai sense, he took the approach of showing humility, kind of similar to what an older brother may do to a younger brother. So I see that within my children as well. Josh is 18, Jordan is 14. Josh could destroy Jordan if he wanted to, but it's more important to him to train with his brother and teach him and bring his brother along. I experienced that with members of this gym, Crew in particular. I remember one instance where I sparred with Crew and I thought I was doing well, and I said, "Hey Crew, can you turn it up a notch?" And I'm still hurting from that. That was 2 years ago. So you can look it up in the archives of Crew beating me up. But the humility that is shown. So as I'm become part of this Muay Thai community, I do observe an influence that I've had. I've always had something like that throughout my life. This gym gives me the opportunity to foster that and display that and extend that outreach to show humility in different senses. I also see several teenagers in this Muay Thai community, and me being a father, having children of my own, the first thought I think is, if there are teenagers training here, their parents want something good for them, whether it be keep them out of trouble, keep them occupied, what people do with sports or any type of discipline to help foster a better person. So I feel, as being an adult in this Muay Thai community, it is my responsibility to further foster that, as people did with my children before I was training. So the teenagers in here, they kind of look up to me. We go back and forth. We tease each other. I try to be mindful of the fact that I am an adult in the gym, but I am not these teenagers' parents. So that's how I approach it. You may have instances where I talk to my children and they just view it as, oh, that's dad talking. But if Crew were to speak to them, they pay complete attention, and it comes from a different point of view. So that's how I look at it with the teenagers. I get constant messages from the teenagers throughout the gym, and I just want to reinforce values that their parents may be instilling and values that the gym instills as a whole. So that's how I take on that role. That's why I do that type of stuff. It's very important to me.
That's good, man, and that's amazing. And there's something that I noticed of you over the years, and that I've paid attention, is that you've always been super loyal to this gym. You've always been super loyal to Neil. People have came and gone in the gym. You're still friends with those people, obviously, outside of social, right. You could see it on social media, that doesn't change your relationships with them. And people have came and gone to other gyms. Why have you stayed? Why is it that you haven't even gone to try out other gyms? Why is it that you always have been here and always supported not only Neil, but the brand, but everybody here in the community?
Absolutely. You know what? Loyalty has always been a big thing to me. Everyone says it, but really living that is important to me. I remember in my previous career, when I used to be a retail store manager and I had several employees, one of my values that I instilled was be who you say you are. It was part of an acronym, but that was the one that stuck out to me most. And everyone says loyalty is everything. Everyone says this, that, and the other, but let's really be who we say we are. I look at the gym as with any relationship, whether it be work or business or partnerships, like in a family situation. You don't always necessarily agree with everything your family member may do, but that doesn't mean that that is no longer your family member. That's how I view the gym and my loyalty. As we progress, obviously I've been around the gym a little bit longer than most of the members, so I've seen transitions. And one thing you have to realize is, because a gym or a business is implementing different things, there may be discussed reasons why we are implementing these. And as a gym or as a staff, it is not be held up to you to explain that to everyone. You just see the bigger picture. Us here on the grassroots, on the mats out here, we may not know the reason why this is implemented. So what I've learned is trust the process, trust your leaders. I obviously joined this gym for a reason. I entrusted Crew with my children, so that means I trust you. So decisions that you make, whether I see the reason or the long-term outcome, I trust you. So I trust the decisions that you are making are to benefit the gym and the culture. And that's where I exercise my loyalty. And I try to explain to, those members that have left here and there, I'm like, you guys don't know what you're missing out on. There's growing pains. And if you stick it out, I promise you're going to see the promised land. I'm telling you, even faith-based, man. There's things that you may go through in life and you may not know the outcome, but you stick with it and you'll see the outcome. So I'm here for the long haul. Got all my gear.
Man, you're such a great speaker. We're gonna have to. What you just said, we're gonna need that American flag in the back. Just planted.
Fireworks.
I'm telling you, man. Speaker of the house. Once we get a little bit bigger, we're gonna have you Speaker of the house. That was pretty amazing. I was just like, wow.
We appreciate that,
man.
Rob. And one thing I want to touch base too is, you've been with us for like 4 years now, and there's a lot of distractions in life, right? I mean, you said you're in a relationship. You're a parent of 2, right? How do you make time? Because you're literally here every day. You're literally training every day. You might take a day off here and there, but you're literally training at least 6 days a week now. How do you make and manage time with your work, your relationship, right? With the, right? And then you have, like your workout time. Like, how do you manage that as a father?
It can be difficult at times, but it has to be something that you decide. You have to decide, like, hey, I'm going to do this. I made, as I've upped my training, I'd say in the past 6 to 8 months or so, to take something a little bit more serious. If you take it a little bit more serious, you will reap the benefits of it. And for me and Muay Thai as a whole is seeing the fighters and their progression. I remember training here for a couple of years and seeing new people, the Davids and the Martins, join the gym, and they say they want to fight. And at the time, I'm skeptical because everyone says they want to fight, right? But I see these guys putting in the work and they're really getting after it. So I feel, as being part of this gym and being one of the more tenured members and having some of the old school knowledge that has been shared with us being so tenured, is it's my responsibility to do my part, even in their growth and development. So yes, you're the head trainer. Yes, we have many coaches that can teach and help with fight camps, but what's my role? Well, you know what? When a fighter is getting ready for a fight, I feel it's my job to be ready to also be a good training partner. I rather us go back and forth and beat each other up here in the gym, so that way when they get in that ring, they're complete dominance. I'm confident that the style of Muay Thai that Crew teaches is superb, infallible, meaning that there is no flaw in the decision that is made. There are several other gyms out there, not to knock any other gym, and they teach great styles, but if you cross-reference, I'm very big on being accurate and correct. So if I find something that I've cross-checked and double-checked and watching fights and explaining and seeing how fight movement takes place, and I could find myself watching UFC fights or boxing matches, and I say, well, if they would have just done this, this would have worked. And those are styles and things that you have taught us within the gym. So when you find something that you feel is invaluable, you don't necessarily have the need to look elsewhere. Not to be haughty or conceited or anything on the style. Everyone has their own style, but in my findings, that's what I've observed. So
I love that.
That's
I love
cool.
that.
So, do you find yourself like anytime soon, like, you know what, I think when I'm 45, 50, I'm going to stop doing it, or you just got to go until the wheels fall off?
Man, I'm going to go until the wheels fall off, but these wheels are never falling off because they're well oiled and the brakes have been changed and I feel rejuvenated. And actually, since I've taken Muay Thai a little bit more serious, I have more energy. And back to your question in a roundabout way is priority. Make a priority. As I'm getting older, even though I don't look too old, but as I'm getting older, fitness is important. I've never been a big fan of fitness, but I like combat. I like that type of style. So in order to be ready and ready my body for that, I need to do the things that work up to it. So I want to be in shape when we're dealing with fight camp. So I want to be ready to go. And these guys are taking 2, 3, 4 classes a day. If the least I can do is do once a day, then I'll do it and I'll give it my all. And push myself through so that way when fight fight camp comes around, I'm ready to go. So,
That's cool. That's
I
cool.
love that.
You know, it's funny because every time we're gonna have somebody on the podcast, people send us emails and stuff like that, and they're like, "Oh, ask Robert Brown, ask Robert Brown." So it's my job to ask the hard questions.
Okay.
So I'm gonna. You ready?
I'm ready.
So people look at you, they look at that face. There's no scars or nothing. You come and you spar and everything, and they're like, "Why gorgeous Robert?" Or what is it? Is it what is your Instagram?
Gorgeous underscore
Gorgeous
Robert.
underscore Robert. That is. So, you know, rumors around is that, you know, you double moisturize with Thai oil on your face. Some people are saying it's baby goat blood. So, you know, I don't know. They just want to know. They told me to ask the hard question. So how do you spar? How do you do all this and stay gorgeous?
Man, try it high and tight. High and tight. Keep it high and tight. You'll protect it. You know.
Got it.
As Drew says. You know, doesn't mean I don't get tagged, but I used to practice boxing growing up, and they were really big in ethnic backgrounds. For those of you that don't know, I'm mixed with black and Filipino. So in black gyms or black boxing, they emphasize not getting hit and not getting hit. Okay. Well, in fights, you are going to get hit. But as long as you stick to that high and tight, you're in good shape. Everybody knows if you want to take me out in sparring, just take my legs out. That's it. Take my legs out. That's the key. That's the key.
There you go. Everybody on Monday's got to hit those legs, you know?
Man, hit these chicken legs, but they're getting there. We're working on them.
And then another thing that everybody wanted to know, so you have this move that you do, right? Every time you get out of the shower, you have your towel around your head.
Man,
I think you did it earlier. Do you mind doing it to the camera, just showing it and telling us a little bit about it?
Just a little thing. You know, what I've learned is I want to influence people and use my voice and use my influence to, in a roundabout way, is to instill confidence, most particular in the teens, because that's where people start to struggle, and that's where a lot of life choices and decisions are made in your teenage years. And I have a level of confidence that I carry around with me because my beliefs. I know what my maker thinks of me, so why wouldn't I think the same of myself? Now, that's not to discredit anything and say that there aren't things that need to be worked on, but that's how I carry myself. And I do little antics on social media and things of that nature for several reasons. One is, you know, a little fleshly nature in myself. I know when someone has high confidence, it can make people uncomfortable about how they feel about themselves. I challenge that. When I hear little comments, I will approach that individual and talk to them and try to build them up as well. There's a difference between being confident in tearing other people down and also being confident in trying to share that and get people to understand that we are all individuals and we all should have confidence in who we are. But it's also a fine line between that and your ego getting too big and being conceited and being condescending, and that's a struggle as well. It's a whole different subject. But I do always get out the shower and I do my little...
Oh,
there it is.
There you go. All right.
Not that I got it from the pretty girls, but the pretty girls used to always do their little selfie. So I'm like, you know what? Why can't I do it too? You know, just look up and do my little thing.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, it's trending out there. Let me tell you, man. I've tried it myself. I'm not gonna lie. Come out of the shower, and it's not the same, you know.
Man, your beard is
not
much better than mine. So
Thank you.
Want, Edwin.
That's baby goat, you know, a little baby goat blood right there, you know. But you know, it's funny that I had one of my guys. He's a long-time friend of mine. He also works with me. Jesse. He came over here. I don't remember what it was. I think he was getting some fight tickets. And I've known Jesse. He taught me when I was doing detailing back in the days, and it turns out that they're friends. It turns out like they've known each other from back in the days. Wow. And apparently Gorgeous Robert has been around for a long time. Yeah. So he was just telling me all the stories and just everything. And it's amazing what a small world, you know, because it's cool. It's cool. You know what I mean? I don't know. I saw the pictures and the videos. On MySpace. Let me tell you, MySpace.
You know what? It's interesting you bring that up. That's another thing to touch on too. And I did want to share in thoughts of this podcast, joining MTK and learning, being humbled in the gym. Like I mentioned before, coming in thinking, you know, you have life figured out, relatively successful in a sense, and you think you have things figured out. when you come into something new and you find out that you're an infant, you don't know anything. It gave me a different spin on life. I was leading a life that, like I mentioned, it wasn't anything crazy, but it was a choice that I was living that could long-term not be beneficial to myself and my family. Okay, so coming into the gym and being humbled caused me to take a stop, take a look back, reflect, look at past relationships, look at my dealings with relationships and women in particular, and having to be humbled in order to flip my mindset. So I was living, and I thought I was living, but I wasn't thriving. I was living, but I wasn't thriving. And Muay Thai has helped me realize that and helped me develop even in my own personal relationship with God or whatever source you may call it. It was humbling, and it brought me back to that being who I say I am. So when I'm talking to different members in the gym and teenagers and different women in the gym, and they're talking about their past relationships and how they've been hurt and things of that nature, and I had to stand back and realize, am I becoming that person that's causing the hurt? Interesting.
That's deep.
Hard look
really
in the
like
mirror.
that.
Hard look in the
absolutely.
mirror. And it wasn't until I decided to change that up and kind of try to clean that up and focus on that, I can really be more impactful in my reach. Because now my words mean more when I'm truly living what I'm suggesting to these people. So Muay Thai did help me come to that realization.
Now going off of that, because I know you mentioned, you come every day now because you want to be prepared for, to help my teammates prepare for fights. But you've been with us for 4 years now, and you've seen, fighters come and go.
Sure.
What keeps bringing you back every day? Like, what is there? What's going on? What about MTK that, like Edwin said earlier? Like, why haven't you? We already know why you don't go elsewhere. But like, what keeps bringing you back? Because Muay Thai is a tough workout.
It is.
Right? Those days when you feel lazy, you're sore from a previous class that you took. What keeps bringing you back every day?
If I were to sum it up in one statement or one word, it would be the community. The sense of community we have here. Obviously, crew, what you bring to the gym is phenomenal. But the sense of community that you've fostered and you've created. And I'd like to thank you for that on behalf of many people. There's days where you're tired out. And a person like me, I try to maintain high energy. Just naturally, I've always been like that. Very social. But we have a different sort of pressure. An individual like me has a different type of pressure. When we walk into a gym and we may have had an off day, or we may be tired.
Yes.
We walk into a gym or any location, and people tend to think something's wrong when we're not our normal, bubbly self. And it's almost like a pressure at times, but the community that we have here fosters my natural instinct to be outgoing. When I'm having a down day, I can come into the gym and I can always count on certain individuals. When I first walk in, I already know the group of teenagers that's gonna run up to me and tell me what happened at school that day. And then they're gonna ask me if I'm taking a double class, or why didn't I take a double class, or whatever the case may be. That little first incident is a breath of fresh air or energy. Then we come in here, we start working out, and whoever the coach is that's teaching that day always has high energy. The community is encouraging. If I'm struggling with the exercise, you have some of the guys that will come around and give me a hard time, which, come on, man, keep up. And those little things, men tend to be more competitive in a sense. And then I also have the girls that are here like, hey, what's up, dude? This is your first class. Why are you tired out? So that community, it kind of motivates you and makes you feel good. Then you walk away feeling refreshed. It's almost like, I don't want to say it, but I don't want to relate it to like a church service, but it is in a sense. You walk away feeling refreshed. I mean, and anyone that's experienced MTK will know exactly what I'm speaking about. And it's something I definitely highly recommend for others. That's why I'm such an ambassador for this place, because once you come here, you're going to fall in love with it. The sense of community, how this gym fosters you to chase after whatever your heart's desires are, to get such a hunger, that way you are driven. That's the best way to describe it. You leave this place and you feel driven, not just in Muay Thai, in different elements and aspects of life. So
I love that, because he actually answered my next question I had for him in that right there.
Yeah,
he
he's
actually
good.
answered it. That
He's
was
good.
nice.
This is not his first podcast for sure.
No.
Yeah, for sure. Like this guy's done it before.
Well, just so you know, he's a great singer, by the way. For those of you that don't know,
he's
real
a great
quick?
singer.
He's got karaoke skills. You know,
can we get a couple words really quick? Come on.
I'm not a great singer.
Huh?
Listen,
Like that Key Sweat or what? Where are we at with this, huh?
Shoot.
Bobby Brown? Where are we at, huh?
I want to say it's a little bit of both. You know, it's a little mixture of,
you know what? I'm the best mute singer in the world. I can lip sync the best out of anyone you've ever met. Singing is one of those talents that I wish I had, but I do not. I do not.
All right.
But I can ooh.
I wanted to have some fun, Rob, to end this this little podcast episode. I want to do a little like fast questionnaire. I want to just ask you simple questions, and real quick, you got to give us an answer right off the top of our head. Edwin, you want to go first?
Let's go ahead and you go first. Go.
Okay. Favorite color?
Red.
Just one.
Never.
I don't know. I'm like,
you said
I thought you were gonna take the lead on this one.
All right, go.
1, 2, 3, go.
I said favorite color. Favorite gym.
MTK.
Hey, wee.
Crew Ramon or Crew Neo?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Hey.
It depends on who's teaching class at 8:45 tomorrow.
Double elbow.
You know what? I'm gonna have to go with Crew Neil, but Crew Ramon is like.
I'm just saying, you know.
Ramon, man.
The Salvi sensation, that's all, you know.
My girl's Salvi too. So,
there you go.
Do you have a favorite fighter?
Floyd Mayweather's my favorite fighter of all time.
Love that.
Favorite trainer in the gym?
That's a tough one because they all bring something different to the gym. I'd say excluding Crew?
Excluding Crew.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's go.
That's a tough one. My brother, Coach Martin, he brings a whole different energy.
Only one. Let's go. You have one life vest.
Coach
Let's go.
Parrish, oh, man.
Let's go.
That dude just drills the fundamentals. I'm going to have to go with Coach Robert. Hint, 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 hint.
Okay.
Just kidding.
You want to hit him with a little?
That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Hey.
I got one last one after yours, and then I think we'll.
Okay. Which camp is your favorite out of all the camps that we host throughout the year?
The fight camp.
Ooh, the transformation.
That's the transformation because 5 hours will push you. That will let you know a few things about yourself.
Absolutely.
If you did it once, you feel like you fall in love with it. The first time I signed up for it, I was a little nervous, but once I got through.
Give them a little hint of like, for those of people that don't know what that transformation fight is, what does it entail? Like, what is the purpose of it?
The purpose is to give the average person or the average person that practices Muay Thai a small, when I say small glimpse of what a fighter goes through, 5-6 days a week in preparation for a fight, and even not preparing for a fight, just on a regular basis. Starting off with a 3-mile run, that's just a push off in itself. And if I remember correctly, after we did the 3-mile run, we went out and did different agility tests and sprints and you name it. Your legs feel like they're going to fall off, and that's where you find out what your team is about. That's the time where you really have to rely on your peers, because your body is telling you no, and sometimes physically your body is literally ready to give up, and you can only feed off of your mental ability. And if your mental ability is slacking, that's when your teammates come in and build you up. So very crazy. And then after that, jump roping, like, come on, like, who does this? Like, my legs gotta walk, like I have to work on Monday, like jump rope, and then we're not done. Then we get to, if you can survive that much, you get to the fun part, which I love the most, which is the sparring. Oh man. And then I love sparring people when they're tired. I love it. That's like, that's where I get to feel like I'm Sanchai or somebody or something like that. That's where my legends of sparring come out. But and then Crew decides to destroy us with strength and conditioning at the end. Like, who does that? Why? What? Let me ask you a question now, Crew. Why do you do strength and conditioning at the end?
That's a great question. That's a great question. It's just because I started out at 14 years old, and a lot of people don't know I was a skinny toothpick, right? And at 15 years old, kids my age didn't want to fight me, so I had to fight grown men. Right. So I was fighting 23-year-olds and up at 15 years old, fighting in big venues, big stadiums, all across America, right? And one thing that I remember as a kid was I lacked physical strength because I didn't do any strength and conditioning. So I only trained. I would run, I would jump rope, I would hit bags, I would hit pads, shadow box, I would spar, but I had no physical strength. So the accumulation of hits eventually wore them down, but it would always go full rounds, right? And so afterwards they'd be like limping and, oh man, you're such a tough kid. But not until I became in my early 20s when I started implementing strength and conditioning, and now I was finishing fights with my leg kicks within the second round. And if at most it would go 3 rounds, that was it, and then they were done. But it's because I had physical strength and power behind my hits. So that's actually the why of why I do the strength and conditioning, because I see the benefit, and I'm always just trying to improve your strength, mobility, all that good stuff that comes along with it. Because I always say, not everyone wants to be fighters, right? But you guys are all here for self-defense as well as the workout. And my goal is, if you were to ever be put in a situation where you had to protect yourself and hit someone, I want when you hit someone, they're like, you know what, I chose the wrong person to fight with right now. That's what I want. I don't want you to hit someone really hard and they just kind of brush it off and they keep coming, because that's scary. But when you hit someone, they're like, you shock them, that's my real main reason why I do strength and conditioning. Just so you understand.
Okay, guys, I got the answer for you for all those who wanted to know why crew always does strength and conditioning at the end.
Yes. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So I still had those 2 quick questions. All right, ready? When I say it, you got to say it right away. You got to choose one right away. Here we go. Jen or Kim?
Oh, stop.
Stop. Hurry.
I don't tap. I don't quit. But
oh, come on, man.
Can I mix their names?
No.
Jim? Jim? Can I say Jim? Jim? MTK Jim?
All right. It seems like he's not going to answer that one then, right?
That's a tough one.
You have one? Well, he's not going to answer that one. He's not going to ask. He can't move on to the second. He can't.
You gotta try.
It doesn't work that way. If he answered that one, I would go to the second one.
You know what? They both bring different elements.
Oh, I agree. Just the way the coach is, but you still chose a coach.
I don't think I chose a coach, did I?
Yeah.
He chose Coach Robert.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah.
Bang.
Okay.
Sign up.
But other than that, you have any other questions or anything like that? I think
No.
That was amazing.
Robert, thank you so much for joining us on our podcast today.
Thank you for having me.
It's I really feel like your message and kind of the things you showcased today and like talked about can really help fellow fathers who maybe are in that same boat, maybe kind of want to try something, but I really felt like you gave a lot of great content that could inspire and definitely encourage others in the same boat. I love how you talked about like just being that older brother, the big brother to the other fellow teammates, the peers, and of course the teenagers, right? Because a lot of times they have parents telling them one thing and they're just they brush them off, but you're saying the same exact thing, maybe in different wording, but it hits different when it comes from you.
Absolutely.
And you're helping MTK change lives. So we appreciate you being an ambassador and coming in sporting all MTK wear. We appreciate that. But Rob, we've known each other for a long time, and we love you and appreciate you.
Thank you very much. I love you guys. Reciprocated to you guys, man.
And as a disclaimer, don't put Thai oil on your face. No baby goat spit. That's all natural right there, okay?
Secret
like that's
sauce.
Natural right there, okay? So gorgeous Robert was born like that, So
cheeseburgers, 2 cheeseburgers. No, I'm just kidding.
Anyways, thank you so much, brother.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So that concludes another episode of Muay Thai Save Me, guys. Just remember, guys, we're bringing in just great guests to just share their stories, because everyone has a great story to share. We want to inspire you guys. We want to encourage you guys that no matter what you guys are going through, there's other people out there that are going through the same exact thing, and we're just sharing the beauty of Muay Thai training and what an awesome community can give back to you guys. So don't forget, guys, like, share, and subscribe to our MTK channel. We got a lot more great content coming soon, okay? But with that said, guys, stay tuned for the next episode.